Kevin O'Leary, this is your last chance to become a millionaire. My most sincere advice to you. A well-known businessman and entrepreneur, Kevin O'Leary is most recognized for his appearance on Shark Tank. During an interview with CNBC in 2019, he was cited as calling Bitcoin worthless and garbage. In the intervening year, O'Leary has changed his tune, stating in a recent interview on Squawk Box that he had put 20% of his portfolio into Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. According to Kevin O'Leary, asset managers are only waiting for clear US legislation before investing billions in cryptocurrency assets. Here's your last chance to become a millionaire. The 12th sector of the S&P. O'Leary revealed that he has investments in at least one private Bitcoin mining plant during the same Squawk Box interview. O'Leary claimed, "I have millions of dollars, 20% of my portfolio is now in cryptocurrencies and blockchain." Despite having a significant financial stake in the cryptocurrency industry, O'Leary still holds some belief that many Bitcoin supporters find objectionable. These beliefs center on non-fungible tokens, or NFTs, and assets other than Bitcoin, particularly his belief that non-fungible tokens are going to be bigger than Bitcoin. The guests of Bitcoin 2022 attended to hear O'Leary's most recent ideas on Bitcoin in a keynote talk today with this celebrity profile and general interest in Bitcoin in mind. O'Leary has become an intermittently well-known figure in the Bitcoin space. He spoke about the need for regulatory clarity and policy surrounding Bitcoin at the beginning of his lecture, saying that when it comes, the spigots of capital will flood open. He asserted in 10 years, crypto, blockchain, and all of these types of assets will be the 12th sector of the S&P. Cryptocurrencies owned by these enormous financial institutions, these trillion-dollar institutions. It's the product of hedge funds, retail investors, and high-net-worth individuals. But the policy is what we're lacking. It's not a bad thing when we get a policy, and the regulator regulates it. This industry is about to experience a capital inflow like no other, O'Leary says. He further adds, Bitcoin is not a coin, it's software. Ethereum is software, Avalon is software, Helium is software, Solana is software. It's all software, and the smartest hands over keyboards today in the world are developing on the chain and bringing innovation to financial services, which in the end is the largest sector on earth. Now what we need is policy. Hence, if you can invest in it now, you'll be ahead of what will undoubtedly be a massive wave of interest when the policy is implemented. Regulation. O'Leary believes that institutional capital is currently on the sidelines as a result of compliance department's refusal to approve big crypto investments. Regulation, according to Leary, could overnight generate $1 trillion for the sector, according to the Bankless podcast. He claims that due to a lack of clear policy, the bulk of investor capital funds does not yet hold any cryptocurrency, but he contends that if authorities issued clear guidelines, they would become engaged. Additionally, according to O'Leary, it would increase liquidity and reduce volatility, which would boost cryptocurrency prices. Mr. Wonderful recently tweeted, "You have to be bullish if you believe in crypto regulation, in light of all the aforementioned factors." Major bills. In his keynote address, he stated the good news is, on a bipartisan basis, there are many senators and reps that are thinking about this in a proactive way. So I'm going to give you what I'm calling the 5 vectors of policy, and give you an update on where we're at on this stuff. Senator Cynthia Lummis is one of the co-authors of a bill that focuses on taxes and securities in cryptocurrency, and has been in the works since last year. The Responsible Financial Innovation Act proposes to establish a self-regulatory agency for digital assets, define what a crypto broker is, and create a framework for taxing earnings from digital assets. O'Leary also praised President Joe Biden's executive order on cryptocurrencies, which was issued in March. This Big Daddy bill is essential for enticing sovereign wealth funds and other financial institutions to invest in cryptocurrencies. The president himself, in his direct order, his executive order, talked about crypto as something that he wouldn't make illegal. That was the most important message in there, he said. The Stablecoin Transparency Act, authored by Bill Hagerty, aims to clarify what stablecoins are, how they work, and what their backing mechanisms are. Cryptocurrencies known as stablecoins are backed by an asset, such as a fiat currency, government bonds, or a precious metal. If stablecoins is backed by the US dollar, it'll become the reserve currency of Earth. That's what will happen. And why would we want to give that up to any other country? Why would we ever give up that innovation? He stated that he would contend that stablecoins are one of the asset classes with the highest rate of growth. O'Leary has previously said that he had no more than a 5% investment in any one cryptocurrency and has invested in over 30 different ones. He listed his stakes in that portfolio as including Bitcoin, Ethereum, Polygon, HBAR, Avalanche, and Helium. Stablecoin regulation is something that he's extremely interested in, as it would greatly benefit the sector. Stablecoins may need to undergo routine audits to confirm that they have the reserves they claim to have, and it may even open the door for them to receive FDIC insurance. He believes that once stablecoins are regulated, governments may focus on other aspects of the business. Governments all across the world began to pay close attention as the total market value of cryptocurrencies soared to almost $3 trillion last year. It is currently somewhere near $1 trillion. Authorities are nevertheless concerned about a variety of issues, such as the possibility of money laundering, the effects on the whole economy, and the absence of investor safety. Both domestically and internationally, different proposals and conversations are currently being held. In March, President Biden issued an executive order on cryptocurrency requesting findings and recommendations from several institutions. These responses are coming in, and they are inconsistent. The Treasury will alert the White House that cryptocurrency may present serious financial dangers, for instance, according to the Washington Post. Meanwhile, another analysis highlights concerns about the environmental effects of cryptocurrency, notably Bitcoin. There's a lot of interdepartmental power struggle and campaigning. On the plus side, it appears highly improbable that the United States will follow China and outright outlaw cryptocurrency. Nevertheless, a lot will rely on the specifics of the rule in question as to whether O'Leary is correct to be bullish about it. The government will have to walk a delicate line between impeding innovation and safeguarding consumers. I don't know if you've seen these memos, but a few weeks ago, they started suggesting that in addition to financial audits in all publicly traded companies, in all 11 economic sectors, they also conduct carbon audits. Now, the way we become carbon neutral in the Bitcoin mining sector, where O'Leary works, is by purchasing carbon offsets. Since the tracking inaccuracies are so significant, no public auditor will certify such representations regarding the carbon offset. You can claim to be carbon neutral, but no one will sign it at the risk of running afoul of the SEC. Therefore, if the SEC adopts that approach, it'll be terrible for both Bitcoin mining and proof of work. Since being ESG compliant was a top priority for the early adopters of this in the US, they turned to that market. Bitcoin mining is going to save the world. When China repeatedly said that cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin are forbidden, such as Kazakhstan, a large number of cryptocurrency mining enterprises left China in search of cheaper electricity. But many miners in Kazakhstan still use coal power, which is notoriously awful for the environment. O'Leary presented a more upbeat viewpoint. He declared, "Bitcoin mining is going to save the world." This is due to the fact that a lot of Bitcoin miners are looking for renewable energy sources, and O'Leary contended that the increased demand for nuclear and hydroelectric power would encourage further innovation and the adoption of sustainable energy. In order to make its mining more sustainable, the Bitcoin mining startup TeraWulf teamed up with a company that operates nuclear power plants in Pennsylvania, according to a Wall Street Journal piece from last October. Additionally, in Costa Rica, miners are reactivating hydroelectric power stations to offer a less expensive, more sustainable energy source. According to research from the University of Cambridge, 39% of Bitcoin mining is thought to be conducted using green energy sources, including hydroelectricity, solar, wind, or nuclear power. According to O'Leary, carbon offset programs are challenging to audit accurately because of the margins for mistakes associated with such activities. Therefore, the businessman does not believe that carbon offsets are a workable long-term solution to the carbon emissions caused by Bitcoin. Instead, miners must make the switch to green energy right away. He said, "I'll install the turbines." O'Leary believes that the regulation of cryptocurrencies is a crucial component of their development. O'Leary is in favor of regulating the crypto market, despite the fact that some people might be wary of government-imposed crypto restrictions, like a recently proposed measure that would specify what assets must back stablecoins, crypto tokens that are tethered to fiat currencies like the dollar. What's next? What will happen next is unclear, as is the case with many other things in the cryptocurrency industry. In the long run, O'Leary makes a compelling case for tighter regulation and how it could pave the way for institutional investments worth hundreds of billions or even trillions of dollars. It's one of the reasons why many insiders in the cryptocurrency sector favor increased regulatory certitude. However, regulation is likely to cause more difficulties for the already struggling crypto business in the immediate run. The regulation of cryptocurrencies will inevitably increase. When it happens, it's probably going to have a big, short, and long-term impact. O'Leary thinks it has the potential to change the market by allowing for the investment of over $1 trillion. However, it may alter crypto exchanges' operations and the resources available to crypto investors. We can only say with certainty right now that change is on the way. With that, we've come to an end. If you want to learn more about finance, you'll probably want to check this one out too. Cheers!